What is up, you guys? We are back with another video. Obviously, it looks a little different this time with the new lockdown restrictions. Obviously, Jesse and I can't be together. So this is a new fun way. We're just going to do a little Zoom Q&A. I got all the questions on my phone, so we're just going to get right into it. You guys asked us questions on our Instagram, so we're going to answer those. So the first one is, what drew us to country music? I guess we can kind of like go back and forth because we're obviously going to have different answers. So you go.
It's also like with the Zoom, we can't really like speak over each other like we usually do. So it'll be a lot of one of us speaking and then the other one speaking. But yeah, country music. I don't know. I've always loved country. I didn't always think that it was going to be my genre until like I met Taylor, and then we both decided when we were going to be a duo that that's where we were going to land. But I always loved country.
I kind of like grew up on it a little. My papa always used to like show me his country vinyls, and like he used to play guitar. So I guess that's kind of like where I got my love of it. I always really liked country music, and that was always kind of like where I landed when I would sing covers and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of where mine came from. So next one, what's our favorite memory / experience? What's yours, Jess?
Memory, like with the two of us, I'm assuming. I don't know, like a memory that I guess this is a memory because it's the past, but like a memory that I miss and that like I treasure and like whatever. I really loved like that we were in school together and we started this whole thing. Like university is like I totally miss it, and like the whole being a student vibe, and like just the way that we met that way, and we met so many of our friends and people in the industry through that school. So I guess I would say just being like our whole 4 years of undergrad was probably one of my favorite memories. But I don't know, I can't really narrow it down. We've had a lot of good times and a lot of good shows. So
that's a really good one. Mine is silly. Mine's Boots, but that's like obviously we always say that, but like I think it was just like such a fun experience, and it was also our very first show. Like I don't think a lot of people know that. Like that was our first show other than like little bars that we had played. Like our first live full band performance was
our first full band performance ever.
Yeah, was the Emerging Artist Showcase. So like I think like that was definitely like one of my favorite experiences. We've had so many fun things happen like throughout the years, but just that was like literally our first experience ever playing with a band together was just like crazy to me.
Yeah, like we've had so many cool experiences, especially with shows. Like, I mean, even stuff that have like came from shows. Like we got to host a night of the next country music star, and like we've got to do like little acoustic gigs and like open for people's CD release parties and stuff like that. And like not necessarily these big festival venues, but all these cool little things that we've got to do because of, you know.
Yeah, 100%. Like things that like have stemmed from things that we've done. Yeah. Okay. Favorite song we've written?
I don't know. This is hard. Like I love the two songs that are coming out. Those two are like killer. Into Tomorrow will always hold a dear place in my heart because that was the first song we ever released, and it was just really cool. But yeah, I'd honestly say like your favorite song that you've written kind of moves with you as you grow. So like when we put out Into Tomorrow was my favorite song. You know, we put out That's When I Drink. That's When I Drink was my favorite song. Yeah. So yeah, I'd say these next two, I'm like so pumped for everyone to hear them. They're totally us, raw, and here for you guys. So I'd say them.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think like also Shotgun Rider, just because like it was the first song we ever wrote. Like I still remember the night we wrote it. Like we were in your room, like in our little dorm, and I just like went into your room and I was like, let's write a song. Like let's just do it. And then literally we just sat down and wrote it. Like I don't think we ever like went back to it. We were just like, this is the song.
It's so crazy how you remember. Like I remember like our friend Karen, who was in like a journalist program. She like had to do some like film thing, and she could rent out cameras and stuff, and that's how we did our first video. And it's just like so funny how things come full circle. And now we're here making a video for you on Zoom.
Oh, this is a funny one, so I put it in here. But would we ever become a trio?
I don't know. Later
I
into
think like personally we work too well together, just us, that like one more person would just be like
that, and like the very opposite. Like I feel like having a third opinion in the mix will just drive me nuts.
yeah, because I'm
Like we already like most of the time we agree on stuff, but like we have very different opinions sometimes, and just throwing somebody else in the mix would drive me crazy.
it'd be a little cuckoo for
Yeah.
sure.
Especially if they don't agree with me, because we know that they like to be right.
And that's the tea, sis. Okay, I put this one in also because this is literally a question we get every single time we do anything. There will always be like one or two or multiple people come out to us and ask this. Are you guys sisters?
Okay, now that we're up close and personal in this Zoom video, take a good look at our faces and tell me if there's any resemblance whatsoever.
Yeah, other than the fact
Because truly, no.
yeah, no,
not.
like we've had people be like, "Oh, really? Like you guys look so much alike." And like obviously being us, we're like we don't look anything alike. But to each their own. To answer the question, no, we are not. We are just best friends. Like, yeah.
That is honestly, if one of us dyed our hair like dark brown, no one would say that anymore.
I know.
Like,
We
I
always
also think that people like see us perform and see us interact with each other like we're very similar, and like a lot of people like we'll finish each other's sentences and it's like, oh, are you sisters? It's like, no, we're just friends.
yeah.
We also don't look alike at all
No. It's literally the blonde hair. If
Yeah,
we
it
if
really
one
is.
of us dyed our hair, no one would be asking that
Like,
question, I guarantee. Who would we like to collaborate? And then I also added slash like write with. So like who would we like to do a song with? And then who also would we like to write with, or like personally? It doesn't have to be like both of us having the same answer. So
right with, I'd say Taylor Swift,
Hmm.
because that woman, like, I have been listening to her since I was so young, and like just the way that her like albums have differed throughout her career, I'm like,
yeah.
how do you write so many different genres? And it's like, she's really cool. Collab, I don't know, Dan and Shay,
Yeah.
probably.
That was what I was gonna say. I just think like 4-part harm. You already know. I think right with I've been really into like Emily Weisband. I think it's like Weisband or something, but that girl can write. Like not a lot of people know who she's written for. Like literally all big names like Keith Urban, and it's like crazy. And she also writes like her own stuff too. So I just love to like pick her brain. I feel like she has like I don't know. She just
Yeah.
writes so many different experiences, and obviously they might not all be hers, but they're so good. So I think her would be a good one.
And also another one, like if we want to talk Canadian and local, like Jessica Mitchell, her writing,
God, yeah.
literally my brain explodes because I'm like, how did this come from a human being and not like a goddess?
Oh God, an angel. Who is the first artist you want to see live once things open back up?
I don't care.
Lit-
Like Sesame Street. I don't care. Like
Flop.
like literally anyone. I just want to go to a concert. I don't know. That's hard for me.
Like, think about this. Taylor Swift, because she didn't get her Lover tour, and now she has Folklore and Evermore. Is that the name of the second one? Evermore?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's like 3 albums.
It's honestly
Also,
trying not to talk
also,
over.
can we talk about Justin Bieber's new album? Because,
Tea.
well, singles that he's put out. Because I want to see that show.
Mm-hmm. Because, like, honestly, I feel like now he's such a chill performer, but he's like so good and the songs are so captivating that like it's one of those things where like you can stand there and sing and it's fine. Like I'll watch it.
For sure. I'm also just a believer, so
That's the tea. You are. You truly are.
love him forever.
If we could open for any artist, who would it be? What would you say?
I don't know. That's a tough one. Like, it depends if we're talking like nostalgia, like if the Chicks went on tour and they wanted like a female duo to open for them, like frick yeah. But like I said for collab, like Dan and Shay, or like I don't know. Like I think it would be really cool to also open up for like a badass female. Like there's so many.
Maren Morris. I was
Oh my
thinking.
god, yeah. Maren Morris, like Miranda Lambert. Ugh, anyone.
Just like, because it's even like you have to think about like you'll be spending so much time with them too. So like
Yeah.
you get to like just pick their brain too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many.
I think opening up for Keith Urban would be like probably my dream forever and ever.
Yeah.
Because him at Boots 2018 maybe
Oh my God. Yeah.
was the most epic show ever. And
It
I
was
want to be a part of
raining.
that. Yeah, it was
It
fun
was,
fact. It was whoever was there would know. It was pouring rain and like thundering. So they canceled the concert and everyone thought it was canceled. So everyone's like in their sweats, like just, partying, whatever, hanging out by the tents. And all you see are the stage lights come on and like a chord play. And it's like this, everyone's sprinting to the stage and he played in the rain and he was like his long hair was just flying everywhere and it was so cool. It was like a really really cool experience
what are some of our favorite venues?
to play.
Hmm.
I don't know, it depends. We always have a lot of like the big festivals and the big venues are like cool and it's like dope, really cool experience, but I find we always have like the most fun at like the small bar gigs
Yeah.
where like because a lot of the time like our families will come out to our show, friends will come out to our show, and the small restaurant will just be packed. I don't know though, but I would say that Havelock, we played there twice and that was a really cool experience. That's one of my favorite venues, like of course the festivals. And then yeah, I'd probably say just like the small bars. Like I love 33 Bowen in Hamilton, the Coach and Lantern in Ancaster.
Yeah, those are literally the two I had. And then
Yeah.
yeah, I think like honestly, we played the last time we played Havelock, we played the beer tent. And
Yes.
that was so much fun because we were like on this little stage. Like I swear to God, we almost fell off. Like can't even count how many times because we're just like us three. Like I'm pretty sure who was there with us? Andrew
And Andrew.
and Jeff. And there's four of us on this little stage, and we're like doing our own thing. But honestly, it was so much fun because people were so close to you, and then like people came from the concert that was before, and there was like a lot of people, and it was just such a fun environment.
Yeah. I also love Rock and Horse. Like I remember after Boots and Hearts, that was our like because Rock and Horse to us was like, ooh, like when they first started having their concerts, they were having like the Red Claws and like Dean Brody and like these
Yeah.
people like we look up to. So when they called us that one summer to play for the first time there, that was like we were all hyped about that and that was like a really cool show. And every time we've played there, it's been epic and so much fun.
What is 2021 going to bring for us?
Hopefully shows.
I know. I was saying that too. Like, honestly, if we can, God willing, shows on top of shows on top of shows. I don't care where it is. You can put me in someone's freaking backyard. I don't give a shite.
I'm here for that.
We'll play.
Yeah.
So set us up. But new music, obviously, we have a song coming out next month and then a song coming out the month after. And we're just so excited. Like, we can't even explain how excited we are for you guys to hear this new music.
Yeah, I think this new music is like you'll hear we have a lot of stuff coming out with the songs like videos on, what they're all about and the process and everything, but these ones are really relatable and like super us and the production and everything is like really close to us and so I think you guys are going to really love them.
Who is an artist everyone should be listening to? Who's like your favorite artist?
I always have this question because I'm like, ugh, everyone.
I know. Or I completely blank and I don't know anyone.
Yes, like my thing is I listen to so many people and then I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I said this on a live and I'll say it again. Your local country artists, throw on your Canadian country or Ontario country or whatever it is playlist and listen because there's some, I mean, not only our music, but there's some gems in there and like the talent in Ontario and Canada in general is crazy and everyone should be listening because, we're making our mark in the country industry, okay?
I agree. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of people know, but then sometimes I don't know because like we're so like immersed in the Canadian country and like Ontario country music industry that like there are so many artists and like so many incredible artists that like sometimes I feel like we just get pushed aside from like all the like American and like worldly artists that you just hear so much on radio.
Yeah.
Like there's so many of us, and like it's almost like supporting local businesses in a way, but like supporting local artists is a big thing I think too, which like not a lot of people really like think of.
Yeah.
And like you're super into music, but like sometimes people are just like, obviously everyone loves to listen to music, but yeah, if you get the chance, there are lots of channels on Spotify that you can find like local Ontario or Canadian country artists that you'll be surprised. Like these people will blow you away. They're incredible.
Yeah. And it's also something to be said, like, these big artists that are like huge and, they're superstars, you know, they work hard, but that like a small indie artist is like, they're putting their everything, their last pennies, they're like on top of their day job, they're doing this on the side, and they're still able to, provide such good quality content for everyone. And I think that, just because you don't know it doesn't mean you won't like it.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, I'm a guilty of it too. Like, you stick to what you know, like you listen to the big artists, we all do. But everyone started out as a small indie artist. The Maren Morrises and the Justin Biebers and the Taylor Swifts were once playing in a small bar or a small cafe.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that's good to think about for sure. Okay. How has the pandemic affected you musically? I guess like we can do personally because we've definitely had our hardships.
yeah, for me, I'd say like the pandemic. It's hard to like put into words like what this has done to my mental stability, but like I was lucky
We
because
laugh.
I was still able to work for the most part. So I was able to still like, interact with human beings. Um, but I think that not being able to see my friends and see my family like on an intimate level, or even just like, especially now in the winter, since we can't go outside and because it's so cold, like you really don't see anyone. And it's like, it's hard. Like social interaction and like relationships is a big part of who we are as human beings. Like, a lot of people, like, you can say you like to be alone, but for an extent.
Mhm.
And as for music, like we were lucky enough to, when the lockdown was a little bit lifted and there were precautions in place, but you could still do things, we were still able to go to the studio and get some stuff done. And Taylor and I were kind of like in the same circle, so we were able to see each other here and there. So we were able to get songs done and some photo shoots done and stuff like that, so that's really good. So I don't think our music, other than not being able to play shows, has really suffered as much.
Mhm.
I think it's more just like a mental thing, like
Yeah.
every day trying to, and Taylor can attest to this, trying to find motivation to do things, and when there's not much to do.
Yeah. I know my big thing, like not even like musically, I think like everyone can be on the same boat when I say like, and you said it too, like motivation. I feel like once this whole thing happened, like I didn't necessarily have a schedule, but I felt like I had a lot I was doing. And now that I have so much time on my hands, it's way harder for me to find the motivation to like get up and work out or get up and like go for a walk. And it's just the little things. So honestly, like one thing I would say to a lot of people is like don't be so hard on yourself. And
Yeah.
like that's what I'm trying to do this year, especially because everything is still going on and it sucks and this is our reality now, but you have to like stop being so hard on yourself. And like if you get out of bed, that's a good day. If you go for a little walk, that's awesome. Like you can't just beat yourself up and don't compare yourself to other people. Like it may look like people are doing a lot, but you never know what's truly going on behind pictures, Instagram posts, all that kind of stuff. So I think just be gentle to yourself. Like give yourself the time you need. If you need a day to lay on the couch, do it. Like everyone's in the same boat right now. Everyone's at a standstill. So it's kind of just like
Yeah.
you have to be good to your mental health.
I think that like I saw this thing on either Instagram or TikTok or wherever I saw it, and it was like, it's okay if you didn't like go on a huge fitness journey this pandemic, or you didn't start a new business this pandemic. It's like not everyone is doing that, and it's okay. Like majority of people probably aren't doing that, and just because you're seeing it all over social media doesn't mean that that's the only thing that every single person is doing. And honestly, great for those people who, went on their fitness journey and lost 50 pounds, or, started their business. Like, good for them, but you don't have to do those things.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Like, you don't have to be productive every day. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Like, you look around at all these people doing all these things, and like, that's okay. They might have the means to do it as well. Like, I know a lot of people have been laid off or have lost hours, like myself, and it's like, you're struggling, and that's okay. So yeah, I feel like that's a good takeaway from this.
The pandemic, like, just surviving is getting through this, is
Yeah,
living.
exactly. If you could perform for a sold out crowd at any venue, which would it be?
Oh, wow. I don't know. Like, I definitely say somewhere in Canada, like
Yeah.
the Rogers Center, probably.
Yeah. I would say Budweiser stage.
Yeah, I would rather say Budweiser. Like, if we're talking like any venue now, like, yeah, that would be epic. But like, if we're talking like life goals, like, I would say Rogers Center, because like it's such a huge venue, and like it's right here at home. Like, we were watching the Shawn Mendes like documentary, and like saw his whole like going through the Rogers Center and everything, and it was like, wow, like that's crazy.
Yeah, literally gave me chills. I was like, this is insane. And like, to see someone that like came from literally like kind of like where I'm from, and like literally from Ontario, to like do stuff like that is like insane. It was definitely a really good documentary for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say Rogers Center too, or like Budweiser stage would be like so fun in the summer, because I just feel like I grew up going to concerts there every summer. I would like wait until the last minute to get my ticket for like a concert so that I could get it cheap for like a lawn seat. And I just feel like it'd be so fun. Like, all of our families and like our friends could be there, and like being outside is just like a cool environment, especially for country music. So I think that'd be cool too. And then, okay, this is the last one. I thought this one was a good one. How do you deal with writer's block?
I don't. I just move on and hope that it comes back to me. No. For me, I just like, I try to find inspiration in something. Like, if I start writing a song and it's like not getting there, I'll like think of, or, stop, go find something else, or, you can find inspiration in anything. This one time I wrote a song about the fire that we were having at my boyfriend's house in the backyard. Like, a song was playing on the radio. I was like, oh, it would be cool to mention the title of that song in a song. So it's like, you can find inspiration from anything. And I think that a lot of people get frustrated when they have writer's block. And the trick, well, my trick, I guess, is to kind of just not let yourself get frustrated about it. Just like step away, it'll come back to you. And just find inspiration in anything and everything.
Yeah, I agree. I think like a lot of the times, like, because it's also hard, like, again, like, we always we always compare ourselves to other people, or like we always like hear someone say one thing, and then we're like, oh, should I, like, that be happening to me? And like, I know a lot of times you hear artists say like, oh, I sat down and the song came to me in like 5 minutes, or the song came to me in like 10 minutes. And like, for some people, it's not like that. Some people take them. I know people who it takes like years to write a song. Like, they want that one like perfect line, or they just like want there to be like a moment where it actually comes to them in the way that they want to write it. And like, that's okay too. And I think I'm more like that, in the sense that I'll have an idea and like I'll start writing it, and I definitely struggle with writer's block a lot of the time. And I think like a good thing I heard someone say was, if you have writer's block, write about like a movie or a show that you're watching or have watched, and like kind of write about their story, and then like you can get inspiration from that, or it just kind of like brings back creativity, which I think is really cool.
Like, I think a lot of people think that like songwriting has to be like your experience and your feelings, and it's like, I don't think that's the case at all. Like, we even have a song coming out in March that is not necessarily about an experience in our lives, but, a universal experience that we drew emotion and inspiration from. And I think that people need to get out of the mindset that, this has to be, what I feel, or it's not going to touch anyone else. Whereas I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that, I could write about something that didn't happen to me, but it might have happened to somebody else. So, yeah.
And I think a lot too in country music, like a lot of people think like, oh, I have to include like trucks and beer and like all the typical country music things are like that's not a country music song. But I think like genres are so broad now that like you can write about anything in the way that you want to write it about. And if you feel it's that genre, then why can't it be that genre? Like it's all about like the way it's produced and the way that you sell it. So I think like that's a good thing to think about too. And like I always catch myself doing the same thing where I'm like, oh well, I have to kind of do this or it's not like XYZ, like it's not that. But I don't think that that should be an issue for anyone at all. Well, this was fun.
Yeah,
I know
guys, so much for watching.
I like try not to cut each other off, but I know it's definitely different and it's definitely different for us to do videos like this. But I mean, here we are making the best of things, and I'm just happy that, and we're just happy that we can put content out for you and we have the means to and we have the resources to right now. So we hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely let us know. We want to do more stuff like this just so you can kind of get to know us more as people, not just like the artist who sings this song. So yeah.
So leave us a comment, send us a DM, whatever it is. Let us know what you want to see from us. And yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much.